you are not only your breasts. Let me explain. 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer. That's just the fact. So if you have a breast tissue, you have risk of developing breast cancer. But did you know that 1 in 4 women will develop dementia? 1 in 3 women will develop cardiovascular disease. 1 in 2 women will suffer an osteoporotic fracture. So my point is that the breast cancer is not the biggest killer of women. Heart disease, stroke, dementia, diabetes, osteoporosis claims far more lives, and too often those conditions get ignored by women. So it seems like all decisions uh, in terms of healthcare are made around breasts. And on top of that, they are made on information that's not even most up to date or correct. By no means I'm trying to downplay breast cancer. I worked in a cancer institution for over 9 years, so I have seen breast cancer up close. Of course, it's no joke. But one thing that I've seen over and over again, and now like more people are coming to me because of the channel and talking to me, sharing their problems, their concern. It seems like whenever they have reached out to a provider, um, everything at the end is just based on their risk assessment of breast cancer. And that assessment is not even based on most updated data set. So the WHI study, the Women Health Initiative study from 2002, have different arms. So the group that did not have uterus, they were only given estrogen. The group that had uterus, they were given conjugated estrogen and progestin, and then they have a placebo group, placebo arm. So the the cohort that were just only given estrogen, the data showed that the risk of breast cancer went down by 23%, and the overall risk of mortality went down by 40%. These are just a mind boggling stats that they conveniently overlooked or chose not to discuss. The only thing that was discussed was related to the arm of the study where both conjugated estrogen and progestin were given to the patient. The increase in the risk of breast cancer was not significant. Overall, for women in 50s, the increased breast cancer risk with hormone replacement therapy is very, very small. It is similar to the risk you'd get from being overweight or drinking a couple of glasses of wine every night. Now, the same data set showed that if you take HRT within 10 years of menopause onset, you prevent cardiovascular disease. Secondly, I want to list all the indication that FDA has approved for a hormone replacement therapy. So number one is our vasomotor symptoms, hot flashes, night sweats. The second thing is genitourinary syndrome of menopause. And the third one is prevention of osteoporosis. Now, 70% of osteoporosis happen in women. And after 50, if you break a hip bone, your chances of dying in the next 12 months goes up by 30%. And worse is that your chances of not returning to home goes up by 50%. That means that you're not going to come home. You're going to go to your kid's place, your relative, or even nursing home, and it's just heartbreaking. The final indication that FDA has approved for HRT is early menopause. So if you go in a menopause around 45, FDA has approved HRT for that situation. So one of the things that I want to talk about again is the risk management. So people get like really uptight, or they're like, oh, I don't want to, this treatment has risk. Well, it's kind of funny because we subconsciously assess and manage risk all the time. The biggest example that I can think of is like when you put the seatbelt on while you're driving. And you do that to kind of mitigate the risk of injury or death. God forbid, should you get into a car accident, right? And you also do other things. You make sure you are obeying all the signs. You're following a rule. You're driving defensively. All that kind of plays a role of you getting to your destination safely. Now, if you start driving recklessly, you're not stopping at signs, your chances or your risk of getting into a car accident goes high. So the same kind of concepts kind of apply when you are looking into managing your health. So it's so important to know what your goals are, and then you match that with your current regimen of treatment. So heart disease is number one killer of women. It causes 1 in 3 female deaths every year. That's more than all cancer combined. Stroke is another leading cause of death. Alzheimer's disease affects mostly women, nearly 2/3 of them, worldwide. Diabetes is something that is very common and is just accepted, ignored. Fractures from osteoporosis, they're just not painful. Like I said, they can be deadly. I already gave you a stat. Now, the stats are horrifying. So about 1 in 5 women dies within a year of breaking her hip. And this is why we must treat our whole body with the same attention we give to our breast. Again, not downplaying breast cancer, but saying look at other things too, which may be silently killing you. Because there's one scenario that I've heard a couple of times that breaks my heart. Now, just imagine that you've gone through a trauma of losing your mom or sister or other family member with breast cancer, and then you find out about HRT, you find out about the updated data, and you know you gather all the courage that you can, and you get an appointment with a doctor. You walk in and you ask the doctor about HRT, and the provider looks at you and shame you for even bringing up HRT since you have breast cancer in your family. Can you just imagine the trauma? I can guarantee you this person would not even want to talk about HRT for the rest of their life because the shame element that's been brought into the situation. And this, my friend, is opposite of good medicine. You deserve a provider who is trained in menopause care. If your provider is quoting outdated studies from 2002, please, it's time to find someone new. They're specialists and they are certified in menopause. They are certified in oncology and menopause. They can guide you based on balanced, science-backed information. So remember, it's your body. It's your choice whether you decide for or against HRT. That decision should come from accurate information and a place of compassion, not guilt and not fear, for sure. So please remember, you're not only your breast, you are your heart, you are your brain, you are your bones, you're your whole self. Screen for breast cancer. Yes, that's so important. That's how you manage risk. If you're 45 and above, you do your annual mammograms, you do at-home breast tissue exams, and whenever you see each other, you see your girlfriend, just ask and remind each other if they have done their exam. And at the same time, make sure that you're checking your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your bone density, and you're eating well, staying active, and these are all our seatbelts. And you wear all of them, whatever is available to you. You wear them because you deserve to live a long, healthy life. Not just in one body part, but in all of them. I hope you found value in this video. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.